So, and you mentioned before about the chapel. So, I mean, obviously, if I was to go through right now, would I be able to know where it is? If we were to go through it on a walk?
Would I know where it is?
Yeah, would you remember?
Well, I'm hoping so, because I've learned that things has changed.
This is the thing, because obviously I'm trying to encapsulate, because obviously if I was to go through it right now and I could say this is this department, this is that department, it's clearly, it's like, is it the shared interest? I don't know, but
it depends on where I would enter from, because
sure.
I used to go through the side gate.
Okay.
To go into the works.
As opposed to going to the lodge, because we've got a lodge thing around here.
Well, you go through the same gate.
Sure. Okay.
But then we enter the gate second from here.
The one just down here?
Yes, that blue one.
Sure, okay.
And then I go straight to my works. Well, you have to clock in at that time.
Yeah, of course. It's still the same now.
You do still clock in and clock out.
So do you find like, when in your time, again, I keep referring to it like it's like a long time ago, what was it like then? Just being someone like you, was it really, really busy? Was it demanding? Was it difficult? Did you fit in?
Oh, it was busy. Mm-hmm. Fitted in very well.
Okay.
Everything was new, of course. But as you go on, you get to know, and you just get on with what you're employed to do.
Sure. So you have many friends here then?
Yes.
Right.
I did.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the names of some of them now, but
sure.
Memory fails me.
No, yes.
I can remember a few.
Yeah.
It would be nice to actually see some of them.
The stuff still was, is it?
But I don't think any of them is here now.
No.
They would have moved on.
Sure.
Or people died, unfortunately.
Of course. So are you Derby through and through then, in Derby?
Derby. I came here when I was 19.
Sure. Okay.
From Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a similar thing.
And I've lived in Derby ever since.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know anywhere else. So, and I don't think I would live anywhere else in England apart from Derby.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I've been here all my life. So obviously my mum, she came here.
Yeah.
I think 1975.
Okay.
So from Jamaica as well.
Right.
So
1975.
Yeah. So there's a similar timeline, I'm guessing there, isn't it? So. But,
okay. Yeah, I came here when in the 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, at 19. Left my mom and dad and the rest of the family. I think first to travel away from home, you know. But
I imagine that was nerve-wracking then, wasn't it?
A bit. It was in the winter, so you can just imagine.
Yes,
it was in the cold time.
The weather, isn't it? Yes. Yeah.
Ooh, my ears felt as though they were coming off.
Yeah.
Because it was so cold.
Nobody looked at anything on.
But it's not that you get used to it, but
you have to grin and bear it.
Yes.
That's the term, isn't it?
Yes. Because everybody feels it when the winter comes. It doesn't matter how long you're here or if you were born here. Everybody feels it when it's winter time.
Yeah. It's a shared interest, isn't it?
Yeah. But you manage, you cope. You wear the garments that is suitable for the weather, so to speak.
Sure.
Yeah.
I left secondary school in 1995.
All right.
So, and then I went on to a right track training course, and then I went into agency work, and then from there, this was my first job.
Your first job, okay.
And that was 21 years ago.
Wow.
And I'm still here. So.
Well, I worked in the hospitals before.
In the Derby?
Yes, okay. And I work in Belper as well.
Was that nurse or matron or?
Nursing assistant.
Okay. And would that have been a common job back then to around that time?
It was easier to get into
Yeah.
the hospital.
I've heard a lot of that because obviously, like my mum, she worked in that as well.
Yeah.
And obviously, my sister's actually working there right now in that as a matron in Burton, and it's like it seems to be a common job back then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But the traveling to Belpa wasn't the easiest of place to get to. Buses weren't very,
reliant, yeah.
and if you miss one, you had it.
Oh dear.
Either way, going or coming, if you miss one, you had it. And then I used to have to use 2 buses to get to Belpa.
Oh yeah.
Because one from Arlington, I used to live there.
Sure.
And then get one in town
Yep.
to Belpa.
Sure.
And then the same thing and coming home. So my day's work, it seemed as if it's spent in traveling.
So did you enjoy the process then, or was it just something you had to get through?
I liked what I was doing, but the traveling it gets on your nerves.
So it was trying. It was like,
So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try something else.
Okay.
And then I applied to Crown Derby here. I can't remember what route I take, whether it was by letter or just coming. I can't remember. However, the gentleman that interviewed me, he was lovely. He was so lovely. Can't remember his name, either. Tall and handsome he was. Oh, he was. And
Would this be the Mr. Campbell now, is he?
well, he was tall and handsome, but it wasn't
all
him.
right.
Yeah, and yes, he accepted me, and I was grateful because it was just one bus.
Sure.
And I come off right out there, and I was in Works.
Sure.
Off the bus, straight into Works. And it was so different. And yeah, so then I started, excuse me, I started the job as inspection in the clay department.
So what else did you do in there? Because I know you mentioned this before about the inspection of the cups and using the paraffin and whatever. I saw this on the video. So
Yeah.
what else did you do as well? Was it just essentially that was it?
Yeah, but I have to mix the
Yeah.
I have to mix the paste
Sure.
to glue because some of the cups I have to glue them together.
Okay. Right.
But I have to make the paste up so that when they're fired in the kiln, they didn't stuck, they separated. Stuck together, but then they come apart when they're fired. So I have to know the amount of mixture, because we use sand and wallpaper paste to make up the solution. And so I said, you have to know the amount to mix and to fix these cups together.
Yeah, it's fascinating because again, it's like if you're very much in the clay department. I've always been like in the gloss or biscuit, so it's like from what I do, I work with actual glaze in terms of so you see how you got these cups here, for example.
Yeah,
it'd be just like that where it comes off the kiln.
Right.
So 'cause obviously,
yes, it's kind of hard and
correct.
And
like the enamel at home in your bath,
yes,
similar to
that's
that.
right. Yeah.
So when I receive it, it'd be like biscuit.
Biscuit, that's
So
what it's
obviously
called.
the biscuit ware, and obviously then we do the process there where
you spray it.
I've worked in that department. I used to work at the department where basically, say it would be in a biscuit form, and then this will get sprayed with the guns, and it would have like a powdery texture.
That's
then
right.
They put like a dye in it, so it's visible.
It's like a pink.
Yep, that's it. Still the same there. Yep. And then basically it comes off there, and then it becomes my job to put it on the kiln, because obviously I'm the kiln operative.
Oh, right.
So
when they come off, they're glazed, shine like that.
yeah. So obviously when it comes out the kiln, that's the appearance. Obviously all this will be later on into the decoration shop. They'll put lithographs on it, and then obviously they'll go into enamel, and then they'll burnish this off, and then obviously it goes into inspection in the best warehouse, and then obviously it looks like this.
Right. So there are a lot of different
Process, yeah.
process in the
Yeah.
kiln department.
It is.
Because it's got to go first in the kiln to be biscuit,
Correct.
and then you have to glaze it.
So obviously there's the gloss glazing area, where that would basically look like that beforehand.
Yes.
And then when I put it in the kiln, it will look like that. And then there's another process. So there's a lot of kilns.
Yes, it's a lot of process that it goes through. Yeah, quite so. People wouldn't understand, but before it comes to you, I have to take the cup up and look at it, and I can tell whether the handle is straight.
And that's through experience, obviously, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Or not.
Yeah.
And my sight is getting a little bit wonky at the moment.
But you can still see it, can't you? So,
But I can
so
still
is
see.
that good there, or is that a pass, or is that a fail?
I can still see a little. I won't.
No. Just
And then I've got to check for all kind of things. Sometimes you don't know what you're looking for, but it turns up. With me checking for cracks, I have to use what we call the paraffin
Sure.
with a brush, and I go right down, because this is where you normally get the cracks.
Just
In
on
the handle.
Yeah, just on that, the paraffin, was that? I mean, back in there, I'm not sure. Was that what you say? Was that a risk for that? Using the paraffin?
No, it was safe.
Okay.
It was safe.
Nah, that was natural.
Because there was no fire or anything around.
I can imagine if that was something they did now, it would probably be like safety check, and it's like, can we do that? And it's like, you know.
No, that was safe.
No, okay.
From where I was.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where Crown Derby wouldn't do anything unless it's safe, would
No,
it?
of course.
Safe to do so. And yes, and the cracks would normally come here, where the handle are, because there's a pressure.
Sure.
When they stick the handles on from the clay stage,
Sure.
there's certain pressure, so you can get cracks, yeah? And then I find the shapes of the cups as well.
Sure.
And I got to see that this side of the cup isn't thinner than that side. They'll have to be the same right around.
So how often that happened then, when you got them? I mean, let's say you had like, what would it be, like a basket of cups you'd have?
Board.
Board, sorry.
Yeah. Like 6 feet, 3 feet
Sure.
long board.
Sure.
And
I think I've seen them in there anyway. When I was
Okay.
there. So yeah.
and so many come. But I make sure that I don't take up the cup just in case it might be said that it's me. When the board come from down where they do all the fettling, because that's what they call it before it comes to me, they fettle and get the shapes and get it cleaned off, smooth off. And so
I think I know. Okay, so now I know your job now.
because they use a sponge and
Yes.
sponge it off and clean it up, clean all the little bits that would probably lift off.
Yeah.
Yeah? So everything come up to me looking quite nice, but when I check them out, yeah, sometimes they're not as nice as they look.
So when you check them, do you then send them back then, and then you've got to do them again then?
Sometimes they
Right.
do them if they're able to.
Right.
Other than that,
Okay.
you just reject them.
Yeah, that normal. Yeah, same now when you go through to other departments. isn't
Okay.
it? It's like- yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And there are see, when I after I do all the checks and that they are all right, I put them on the board. Each one I check and they're all right. I put them on the board, and then from where I sit, then there's a big shelf behind me. I have to take it from where I sit to put it across there. sometimes some of the cups, I have the glued ones. I have to glue them together like this. You see, I'm shaking now, aren't I? I wasn't shaking when I was doing these things. So this is where I glued 2 cups together.
Okay.
And they would be, I'm not going to let them go. I'm holding them.
So is that how they go on to the next stage?
And they go on to the next stage in the kiln.
Sure.
Like that. Okay?
Right, so I've probably seen this where they come out the biscuit kiln.
Okay.
And then basically they'll do the same process where they've got all the alumina on it, and then basically they'll shape it off there, they'll tow it, they'll sandblast it and whatever else.
Yes.
So, and that would have happened back in time when you were doing it. So
similar or same. Yeah.
So obviously you mentioned you in clay. Did you get to see other departments then?
Did I see other departments?
Yeah.
Very rare. Yeah, we go in sometimes just to maybe have a chat with somebody. Not very often.
That's interesting because we have a factory tour. So would there have been a factory tour back then or not?
A tour?
Yeah, of the factory, so you can see other parts of it.
No, I've never been to. I think I went into the decorating part of it once, but I wouldn't say it was a tour that we had.
That's interesting. Mm.
Can't remember we had this tour. No, unless it's something new. And yes, so we did all kind of things, but I mainly deal with cups.
So you didn't do flatware then?
No, I didn't.
Paperweights?
Not the paperworks, no.
Giftware? Anything like vases, anything like that?
No, I mainly deal with the.
So you specifically were tasked for that? Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the other upstairs, they deal with the paperwork, the paperweights, the figurines.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking right now, because you've obviously you've got 3 levels upstairs.
And there was this chap, Arthur. He was a union man. Arthur somebody. He was the kind of the main person.
Right.
On that side, in the figurine department.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I worked for 8 years.
Okay.
Maybe just a little bit over, but not 9, 8 years.
So any reason why you left, or was it just you just
redundant?
I see. Okay.
Because there was, I think it was all over the country where industries or whatever, things was very slow.
So when would this be? Like the mid-70s?
We were somewhere about there. Right. Yeah.
Could you mention about the chap of the union? So would he have been a union rep? Would he have been?
Yes, he was the
And
union person.
Right. So back then, would you have been in the union yourself, or not?
I must have been.
Right.
I must have been.
So again, when like you said when the redundancies occurred, would you have been okay or not? When you would have got redundant, would there be anything for you?
Oh yes, there was some redundancy.
That's good.
Redundant. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't much, but still.
No, well, yeah.
Not like today's day. If I work 8 years somewhere, it would be and get redundant. But then they called me back after things pick up again. But I couldn't do the full time when they called me. If they were part time, then I would have.
Is that just through circumstance, or was that all they had available for you, just to do part time?
The part time.
Yeah, you said it was only part time. Was that through circumstance?
No, I asked if there was a part time going because they weren't part time work here before. They were all full days work. Or full-time work.
So you wanted to only do part-time then?
Yes, at the time when, after things get back to kind of normal.
Sure.
But I couldn't do it then because of. So I went back to work in the nursing homes for the elderly.
Sure.
Which I done another full-time. So it's between Crown Derby and the nursing
So I mean, I suppose, did you enjoy one better than the other, or was it just like?
Do you know, there was one day I sat at my doing these, and I thought, what a waste of my time. These things can't tell me thank you, and I can't see them smiling and that I'm looking after them and they're getting better. I just thought, what a waste of my time. I want to go back to look at it. It is strange. I want to go, even though I love the job, but I thought, it's just, there's no, I'm able to communicate with people. I can't communicate with these things. It was like, you know what I mean?
No,
so,
no.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was worth it while I was here, because I managed to get a piece of Crown Derby while I was here.
What did you get?
Ooh.
Have you still got it?
when it comes to like Christmas time, they used to allow us to buy things, you know, and so they give us a present. Mm-hmm. They gave us a present on things. So yeah,
we did have that here recently. I think up until probably 3-4 years ago. So around Christmas time, we get a paperweight.
Oh, you get paperweight. Okay.
So let's say we'd have like a Royal Crown Derby discount card for the shop.
Yes, we used to go upstairs for they used to have sales, and they used to bring things from Stoke-on-Trent.
Ah.
So you can get things from Stoke-on-Trent to buy, but that used to be up in the canteen as well.
Okay.
And there were lots of Crown Derby stuff that was there. And I happened to go for my break one day, and I saw all this stuff from Stoke and Crown Derby stuff. And I thought, my word, look at that. And then they told us that there's a sale, so the whole factory can go and buy. But when I went for my break, I saw this one here. Mm-hmm. The oval plate, the teapot and the coffee pot in the corner. And I thought, yes, I have to get that. So I just kept like cool. And then when our time to go for the sale, I just went straight in the corner where I saw these things, mm-hmm. and just picked them up. Because I saw them when I went for break, and it was nice. I had that oval shaped plate, the coffee pot.
Okay. So you had the set of it then?
I had the set.
Was it for this pattern, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
It was Queen Anne. Is it called Queen Anne?
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, Queen Anne.
So it's interesting because you're saying the shop was upstairs here.
Yes, in the
because obviously we've got a shop down there now.
This was just when they have that big sale.
Sure.
When we get things to buy, and then when they're like Christmas time.
Sure.
When they're giving us some presents, got an 1128.
Yeah, that's the Marmari, isn't it? Yep.
The MRA one, yes, got a present like that. And I won the MRA, the big size.
Was that in the competition, was it? You won
it was, they were selling tickets.
Okay.
And I was the last one to get the ticket.
Okay.
Number 90. I can't forget that. And yes, my name, the number called out. And everybody swarmed around me for me to sell it to them. I thought, only when it will buy me house and land.
So in the end, did the value go up for it then? Did he actually
Do you know, I never checked the value. I never check on it. I should have done, but I never checked to see whether they're gonna. At that time, it was worth. Was it £600?
Sorry, what was it? Was it a vase? Was it
no, a bowl? The Imari, the big size.
Oh right, I see.
Because there was three sizes.
Right, I got you now.
And the big one was the one that I got.
So have you still got it then?
I still have.
It might be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, but I don't check. just leave it over to my daughter.
For safekeeping, into that, okay, hand me down,
No,
into, yeah.
I've left that for her.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So, so my time in Crown Derby, for saying I have those, I wouldn't have had them otherwise.
No.
I wouldn't have, unless somebody had made me a present. But I know personally, I would not able to afford.
No, I think I found, I mean, even now, it's like you work here with the stuff, whatever, and I've often gone to the shop and I think to myself, if I had the money, would I invest in it? Because we've had a sale quite recently.
Yeah.
And obviously it was stuff which was reduced, and obviously I bought it, obviously, in the house. Yeah. But a lot of the dear stuff, I'm thinking it's hundreds of thousands of pounds. I think to myself, let's say I had the money, let's say money wasn't an object, would I invest in it? Probably not. So I don't know, it's like, it's the value, isn't it, in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? It's like, would you, if money was an issue, would you invest in Royal Crown Derby or not?
I don't know. Might have done. Don't know. Well, if it was things like those, I would invest if I could afford them. Like, are you going to buy me one?
Maybe. Maybe. Twist me on, yeah, maybe. See what happens.